In this video, we are going to be exploring categorical data and showing you how to interpret tables and graphs.
Two-way tables. A two-way table describes two different categorical variables and has row variables, where each row describes one outcome for the first variable, and column variables, where each column describes one outcome for the second variable. There are row totals and column totals as well as table totals, which show the total amount of recorded data.
Types of frequency tables in which to display the data. One would be by showing the counts in each format category. The other would be a relative frequency table, which shows the percentages in each format category. In relative frequency tables, proportions or percentages can typically be used.
Frequency tables can be used to calculate marginal, joint, and conditional relative frequency distributions. Marginal relative frequency distributions are the total of the specified categorical variable out of the total of individuals, while conditional relative frequencies are the amount of the specified categorical variable out of the specified column total. Joint relative frequencies are the frequency of an event in a certain category out of the total individuals. An example of a joint relative frequency would be 10 out of 44, or the number of males who prefer cats out of the total number of individuals. An example of a conditional relative frequency would be 12 out of 19, or the number of males who prefer dogs out of the total number of dog lovers. And one example of a marginal relative frequency would be 22 out of 44, or the total number of males out of the total number of individuals. Some common mistakes to look out for would be to make sure not to take the distributions of the wrong column or row, or mix up the different types of frequencies if a question asks for a certain one.
Bar graphs are graphic representations of categorical data, where each category is represented as a bar. The bar height can be in counts or in percents, and can show the distribution of the data. Bar graphs can also be used to compare quantities measured in the same units. This is done by comparing the height of the bars on the bar graphs. Make sure that when drawing a bar graph, all the bars are the same width, because widths that are not uniform can make one bar seem deceivingly larger or smaller than another. To make a bar graph on the TI-84 Plus, go to Stat and then Edit and enter the given data until L1. Then press second Y equal to get to Stat Plot. Here you would want to press 1 and turn Plot 1 on. For type, choose the third image and keep XList and frequency as L1 and 1. Click Graph, Zoom, and then number 9 to fit the graph to the screen size.
A segmented bar graph is similar to a bar graph, but it can show us the conditional distributions of categorical variables. These bars are measured in percentages and proportions when measuring conditional distribution, and can make a good visual representation of the distributions of variables for different groups. Make sure when using percentages that each bar adds up to 100%. Otherwise, the comparisons could be deceiving and not representative of the actual data. Remember labels, a title, and a key.
Association is when knowing the information or value about one variable helps predict the value of another variable. There is no association when knowing the value of one does not help with determining the value of another.
In this example, there is association because knowing the gender helps predict the favorite color. For example, a boy subject would be more likely to choose yellow as his favorite color than a girl subject. If there was no association between gender and favorite color, boys and girls would be equally as likely to choose a color as their favorite, and the segmented bars for each gender would also be the same.
Some practice problems on this topic would be from 2011 FRQ Form A number 2 and 2014 FRQ Form A number 1 from released AP exam problems of the previous years.